on my ass. But it's just like that behavior was like, and I know like the thing a lot of people are like the popular thing is like the like a feminine type of behavior, like acting off emotion. But it's like, I grew up around a lot of strong females. Like they don't act like this. I was like, this is bitch. It's like this is insecure. Like this is coming from a place of insecurity, and it's like, and I guess typically, or at least lately, like especially social media, I think a lot of like women have been showcased as more insecure than not, and I think this unfortunately this kind of reaction, this type of reaction, has been associated with women, and it's like that's why I think people associate being emotional with you're acting real feminine right now.
Over emotional.
Yeah, acting over emotional. That's right. But it's like, but when I think about a strong woman, I don't think about any kind of over emotional. A strong woman is the opposite. It's like, okay, like I could take a strong woman could take all kind of shit. Like takes more than like internally could take internal damage, and then like the strongest
a strong
man,
woman isn't over emotional.
Yeah, 100%. That's why it's like I don't like.
But you should, as a man, be in control of your emotions.
100%. 100%.
So that's why they're saying it's feminine.
But like I don't think it's I wouldn't call it feminine. Like I know that's the popular thing.
Well, no, it's because it's one of those things. It's like it's you know.
You're talking to sleep.
No. I was like, I'll say it. So like, it's like the whole thing. Like, a lot of you were raised by single mothers, and it shows. Like,
yeah. No, I see that, but it's like and this is what I mean. Like, I don't like those single mothers who act like that. That's not a strong woman.
No, but that's who does that. Is the single mom.
I get you. Yeah, like the stereotypical single mom who acts like that. But it's
because
like
a woman who's got her dude like isn't.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that's your son. Go fucking handle it.
Right. I just want to redefine terms. Like
that's why it's a feminine behavior, because you're acting like a woman.
Well, you're acting like that type of woman. But when I think about like a strong woman, like the type of women like in my family, it's like they wouldn't do that. So like they wouldn't act like that. It's like, but that's because they're strong women. So I calling this feminine behavior.
You're missing it. It's because women aren't physical. They're emotional, right? So what happens when they get upset?
Well, but that's like
how do they lash out?
Well,
passive aggression.
Yeah,
they fucking degrade you or something like that.
But that's a weak woman though. Like weak women act like that. Strong women. I'm not talking about like brawly like.
No, but I'm saying that's something that women do. Correct.
Yeah, but I'm saying
men don't do that. But if they're raised in that type of an environment, they then redirect that, and now they're physically violent. Yeah. That's their go-to response to any type of uncomfortable thing. That's why it's a feminine behavior.
I understand what you're saying.
It's literally only tied to being around a woman.
But I think, I think it's tied to like being around like it's been associated with a lot of weak women, because a lot of weak women raise.
What's the key word there?
Weak women.
No, what's the key word? Singular.
Weak.
It's a woman.
Weak woman. No, because it's like you could be like overly emotional as a man, and that's what Will did. So like he had an overly emotional
and he has
response.
Huge daddy issues.
Yeah,
and is with a controlling woman.
I know, but I'm saying, and I think she's a weak woman also. Like you can't take a fucking G.I. Jane joke. G.I. Jane was a strong woman who overcame abusive relationship. I know, but she didn't stop him either. And then she laughed after he did it.
Yeah.
So I mean, like that's a weak woman. That's a weak woman. That's why I don't.
It's a narcissistic person who's controlling.
Yeah, she's narcissistic. She's controlling, but it's like I'm black and I'm hungry too. You know what I mean? Like I could be like she's narcissistic. She's controlling, but she's also a weak woman.
I mean, that's simplifying it.
Is it? I think.
Take somebody who's manipulating everybody around them and then say like, "Oh, that's a weak person."
No. Yeah. Okay.
You're simplifying.
I'm not trying to undermine the complexity of their relationship and how that all transpired. I'm saying that
she literally is still talking about how she loves Tupac.
Yeah.
And she's been married to a grown man who for like...
Yo, she's like chick off of that one show who's fantasizing about getting plowed by She's over in a happy marriage, like great relationship, great kids.
No sex or something. What is that thing?
I forgot what it's called. I destroyed it out of my memory.
No, but yeah, I feel like that's a.
No, but I'm not simplifying their relationship, their dynamic, and why he did what he did. But the analysis that people like, that's feminine behavior. It's like, no, that's weak feminine behavior. Like, because feminine behavior, like when I think about strong, I was thinking about this before. It's like when I think about a strong woman, it's like a strong
masculine behavior can be bad and good.
Yeah, but when I think about a strong man, like, because I don't think about, like, a strong man wouldn't go out and hit people, right? Like, when I think about a strong dude, like, he knows how strong he is, like, all right, man. Y'all
yeah, but if somebody beats their wife, that's like, it's a guy that's like.
But that's a weak man.
Yeah, but.
That's a weak man. You're beating on.
But you're getting too much into the semantic of the word.
I think I am, but I want the words to mean what they fucking mean. Like, yeah,
That technically would be correct. It would be a feminine behavior of using your aggression.
No. I think because it's because the way that he responded was like, oh, I'm going to respond with force. And so it's like, okay, so that could be seen as masculine. And that's why I think a lot of people are like, oh, he's defending his woman. It's masculine. But it's like, nah. But like that's
he took force and used it in a feminine way to over-emotionally react to a situation and make it bigger than what it needed to be.
Right. And I'm just saying that
a quality that that is more of a feminine thing to do.
Yeah, well, I agree with you that you see that more in, like, you see more females acting like that than you see males acting like that. What I'm saying is that doesn't, I wouldn't call that a feminine trait because a lot of females do it. Like, the same way that.
But that's what's going to prison.
Yeah, but
people who are raised by women.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm not excusing any of that. I'm not refuting any of that. I'm saying, like, the same way that it's not a racist policy that has a lot of black people who are poor in Southeast DC. It's just, it happens to be because, like, in the past and the echoes of those policies, and like this is what it is now. But it doesn't mean that anybody or the system itself is racist. It just means that there's more black people who are poor than not. So it's not, so it's the same way that there's more women that are insecure than not. So it doesn't mean that insecurity is inherently feminine.
Your behaviors are based off of your environments.
Right.
And who you are and how you act.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Environments and who you are, who you act, that's not inherently feminine. Like, you're not like born with a vagina. Well, then you insert a man into this
situation and everything clears up.
Well, like, in a productive way, because if you insert a man and he happens to be a weak man, he doesn't know how to take care of business or handle the household.
The existence of him improves everything, like, astoundingly.
Yeah, but
just his presence alone.
Well, if you have like a man who's like who's
you're like 3 times more likely to go to jail if you're raised by a single mom.
Yeah, but
like 5 times.
But I don't think that's something that's like inherently because women are inferior. I think it's because the women who happen to be in those situations.
Who said?
Oh no! I didn't say that you said it. I didn't say that you said it. I'm saying in general. I don't think that. No. Okay, we'll put that in context. I'm not saying that. You
take
said
your
it.
view debating tactics and get away from me.
No, my bad, bro. I didn't mean it like that.
Rosie O'Donnell.
I mean, like the statistic. Like, people might look at that statistic and draw the conclusion that women are inherently ill-suited in order to parent children.
Men.
Yeah, parent men.
Boys.
Yeah. But yeah. But I think it's those kind of women, or women who find themselves in those situations in a large part, are very insecure, and because of that environment.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I don't see.
Because you have to understand how men think in order to raise a boy properly.
No, I agree with that.
So that doesn't mean you're insecure if you don't understand the inner workings of how a man works.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I think most women who are in that situation, who produce the kind of guys you see over here acting overly emotional, it's not because they don't I think it's more
because
so about them being
they don't have
insecure,
a
not knowing
leadership
how
person that's empowered that can then dictate where the relationship goes.
Right, but
which would be the man.
But a strong woman would know how to point them in the right direction and be able to find substitutes.
But we've yet to see that.
No, I see it all the time. Like I have a friend who I went to school with who was like.
But wouldn't that be considered anecdotal?
It would be, but like I don't know the majority.
I would say the numbers dictate. Otherwise,
the numbers dictate otherwise. But the numbers I think are indicative of the relationship between insecure women raising boys as opposed to women in general raising boys.
But that's just a blanket statement.
But
every bad single mom is just insecure.
It is. I'm not saying that every bad single mom is insecure. I'm saying that
it could be not being able to have time management.
No, that's very true.
But that doesn't mean they're insecure. It just means they're not able to actually be there.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that happens all the time too. But it's like Immortal Technique talks about that. His mom had to work all these kind of jobs. Or no, I might be thinking about someone else because his dad was male too.
Jesus,
he was just in the military. But yeah, but I think it's also a blanket statement to say.
I feel like we're not being very productive.
I think it is.
No, I'm like losing where we're going. That's okay.
What I mean. In general, I'm just trying to say that this is not a symbol of feminine behavior. I think that this is a symbol of insecure behavior. Like, it makes more sense to me that it's not.
Yeah, but my point is that men who are insecure and women who are insecure do things differently.
Okay.
That are predicated off of that gender.
Okay.
That's my point.
So
that's why people say it's like feminine behavior.
Do you think that?
Because if you were with if you're with an insecure, like if you single, I guess it really doesn't matter if it's single parent or not. But if your dad is like an insecure person, he's either one, not like raising you at all, or two, he's overcompensating things. And he's being abusive.
Yeah, but that's my point.
So now you're being beaten down. And you either are coming out of that being very angry and then bullying other people.
100%. And that's why I think
bullying other people. You're not like turning around necessarily and like robbing a bank.
No, 100%. But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what Will's doing right here. He's insecure about who he is or like his relationship status with this woman. So he becomes a bully, becomes phically abusive to The Rock because he doesn't want to hit Jada because he knows.
Don't say The Rock because it's not
I'm sorry, Chris Rock. But like he doesn't want to be abusive to his wife because he understands that's wrong.
That was him.
So I think that he's lashing out abusively physically because he doesn't know how to put it any other way because he's insecure about who he is. So he goes up and slaps The Rock.
Yeah, that would be
Chris Rock shit.
But that's an over emotional response.
Yeah, but like so was her. She had an over emotional response.
No, that's a feminine.
She was like. But like women wouldn't go up and slap somebody or like
they do.
They
slap men all the time.
No, but what I'm saying.
The point is, men understand physical consequences.
Yeah, but
he reacted 100% emotionally, which is feminine behavior. It's not weak masculine behavior.
But you said that overly sensitive or insecure men and insecure women act differently. So when I see that. Jada was insecure because she was over there rolling her eyes. It was a slight joke.
No, she wasn't insecure. She's just in her feelings.
I think that's insecure. Because if you're secure, if you felt secure, like that joke wouldn't bother you. No,
being insecure, there's reasons to be insecure. You were bullied your entire life viciously, and everybody shits on you, and you were raped 8 times.
Yeah,
I'm insecure.
But you could be insecure for other reasons too. No, I won't argue that. What I was saying is you could be insecure for other. You could be insecure for non-valid reasons also. You could just, I think everybody's laughing at me. Yeah, you could be insecure in that way. You could not have any of that real trauma, but you can imagine it.
But insecure encompasses too much.
But it encompasses the whole plethora from somebody who imagines slights to somebody who went through some real shit.
My point is someone could be insecure and be like raped and just be like a timid person who doesn't take many risks and just tries to stay to themselves.
Right, but it could also
And then you can also be insecure and be a manipulative piece of shit.
Right.
And like form a cult and have everybody murder and rape each other to death.
Or be bald and manipulate your husband to act on your honor.
So
Jada is insecure.
Yeah, but the only reason why Will did what he did is because of women.
But I think he did what he did also because he's insecure. Because if he was if either of them were secure, they would
Stop saying insecure.
Why? I think that's appropriate because the same way it's like, okay, so Jada was insecure because if she was secure, she wouldn't be phased by someone making a joke. So she was in her feelings because she's
It's
insecure.
a too simple a word, though.
But that's what I'm saying. It is simple.
It's too simple because this is a complex thing.
Yeah, but I think one element of it
this
is her
this
being
isn't
insecure.
this isn't DMX. Who, like went on stage and hit somebody. It's like, well, DMX is just insecure in his masculinity or something like that. Or like you could maybe make that point. This is like a growing buildup of like emotion and horse shit.
Yeah.
Like to just say he's insecure is.
I think it's one element of it.
It's far too simplistic.
I think it's a very big element of it because, like, if he, like, for example, let's say that there might be,
and also you're talking about Hollywood actors and actresses being
widely insecure. Who is not in Hollywood?
Yeah, but that doesn't then apply to their actions.
I think it does in this specific sense. I see it like because I couldn't imagine.
Inherently, they want to be accepted. Because that's why you go,
which is insecurity. Like you want to be accepted.
But if everybody's working on that framework, you then can't judge them based off that insecurity. Because why haven't other people like skull fucked Ricky Gervais on stage?
No.
Because they're grown adults and they're like, that would be looked good. That would be very that would be looked down. I cannot skull fuck Ricky Gervais on national television.
I think I see where our paths are diverging. I'm not saying that this is like he's doing these actions solely because he's insecure. I'm saying that him doing these actions is a manifestation of his insecurity. There's other things that contributed to him making the decisions that he did. But
so what I'm saying is insecure. It's too simplistic because like having like your entire open marriage being exposed is going to make people insecure. Yeah. So to say that the reason why he did that is because of his insecurities. Well, that would make anybody insecure, but 99% of people aren't physically assaulting somebody. So that's not a reason why that happened at all. Like, it can't be.
Well, no, but it can. Like, it can contribute to it. Like, it's like, oh, well, I did this because...
People feel insecure all the time.
Yeah,
They feel embarrassed. They don't then punch somebody in the face.
Right, but it's like the same way people feel depressed all the time, but not everybody who's ever felt depressed cuts themselves. Yeah. So, like, the same way, it's like
because there's other issues at play that factor into why that happened.
100%.
So why even talk about insecurity?
But that's like why if someone commits suicide, why talk about depression? They have suicide hotlines where they talk about depression to try to mitigate the amount of suicides. So, like, we don't want that to happen.
That would have to be the root of what it is.
Yeah, but that is...
Some people kill themselves because they're just weak.
Yeah, but they're
just weak and they want mommy and daddy to look at them more.
Yeah, but they don't
they kill themselves. Like, it's not really depression. It's just their inability to grow as a person and communicate.
Yeah, but in the hotlines, like say like the suicide watch list, they're not suicide. Well, they're not like, hey,
no, it just sounded funny. Like, I thought of like the no-fly list.
Oh, yep, Betty.
It's a list of people.
Yeah. Ooh, oh, I know you.
April's gonna be a tough month.
Yeah. And a tough girl. It's like that. But then like it's so people like are don't have like hotlines set up where it's like, hey, oh, are you weak? Call this hotline. They're like, oh, are you feeling depressed? You know somebody, like, call this one.
But that's my point. It's a generic term that doesn't help you get to find out what.
No, but it's a generic term. But it also it's the way that they identify. It's one of the root causes that they identify as one of the main causes of suicide.
Okay, so but are we trying to talk about why he did what he did, or are we just?
Yeah, I think I'm trying to get an approval from you. They're like wavering, like, you know, some element of insecurity is the reason as to that contributes into why he did what he did, or I should say, why do you think he did what he did, outside of insecurity?
Okay, what I'm saying is the baseline is insecurity, but
okay,
I don't like. This isn't you. This is just a general. I don't like hearing.
I won't be triggered.
Simple terms like that because it's so many more different elements that are at play as to why he decided to then go up on stage and hit Chris Rock, and then on top of that, like scream is on the top of his lungs about it. There's so many more things that are in it that to say like, oh, it's his insecurities. Because there's so much more behind the method of thinking, where it's like, this is the time and place for me to do this.
Yeah. No,
because that's not based off insecurity. That's based off of some other bullshit. Like,
okay. So what kind of, like, do you think it was like...
He could have just been fed up with everybody talking shit about him and was like, today's the day.
Oh, so you think it was like more calculated? Like it was just like...
No, not calculated. Just he's just like, I need to do something.
Yeah, to
shut everybody the fuck up.
Yeah, but then like but that's like if you were secure enough to be like the way that like if my kids were being bullied by someone in school and they was like, oh, so and so called me stupid. I was like, oh, he called you stupid? Like, yeah, are you stupid? Like, no. I was like, well, why are you getting mad? That's stupid. So it's like I want him to be secure. So it's like I know, and like it go further. It's like, you know, like people are gonna say some shit, and you're gonna get upset. You're good. People are gonna say shit. You're gonna get upset, and it's gonna be fucked up, and you're gonna want to do something about it. But you don't want to act on that, because when you act on that, then it's like then you're showing your enemies, the people who want to hurt you, that like, oh, I got. But if he then hits I'm gonna fuck with you more, and then you're showing your friends like, oh, that hurt him, and then your friends are gonna feel sorry for you, and your enemies are gonna use that and exploit it. So it's like you're just putting yourself in a more precarious situation by acting out on the things that you want to do something about.
Good word, precarious.
Did I say that? That sounded smart.
You said you'll find yourself in a more precarious situation.
Oh shit! Professor in the full effect, yeah. but it's
you should take out your dreads and blow your hair out.
Yeah. My brother. Like that wasn't. You didn't have dreads. But yeah. But it's like you don't want to act on that. So I want him to be. I had this conversation for him to feel more secure in himself. Feel secure in the fact that you know that you're intelligent. So that when someone calls you stupid, you're just like, okay, maybe. And you won't let it affect you.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, the way that I see him, it's like, oh, if he's tired of other people talking about him, it's like, all right, well, first of all, this isn't 6th grade. And it's like, you're a grown person with kids. I was like, you shouldn't be paying attention to what any of these kids are saying, or anybody online is saying. Fuck all of them. I was like, it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. They're like, they're still buying your shit. I was like, so you're good financially. But then on top of that, the people you care about, that's who you should care about, how they feel about you, they think about you. And if that's toxic right there, then fuck them too. Get away from them. You shouldn't be around people like that. So like the fact that he didn't go through those hoops is like, oh, like it shows like he gets to he's trying to act. That's my point. Like he's secure.
That there's so much more to it than just.
Well, I simplify insecurity because that's what like I identify that's just like that could be boiled down to these guys are bullying you and you want to do something, you act on it. So it's like, oh, like you're insecure in yourself of who you are and you get your identity largely from what other people attribute to you, not necessarily what you think of yourself. It's a self-fulfilling, like what they think of you makes you think about yourself in a certain kind of way, as opposed to the other way around. You think about yourself this way and you force them to do this, or if you don't, then fuck them. They don't, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You can't make everyone happy, you know, but you make enough people happy that you've been able to live a successful career out of it, support for your family and your kids, and have a house, and still go on and to further greatness and possibly earn an Oscars, and boom, oh, you got it. Wow. So it's like that, it just showcased him acting out when he's like, maybe it's like, oh, people are bashing on him and he's fed up with that shit. It's like, that's him acting on the fact that he's insecure. Not that because he's insecure he did this, but he's so insecure and he wants to do something about it and he doesn't know what to do. So he finds Chris Rock's face and slaps it. That's what I'm seeing. And I'm sure there's other elements like his relationship to his wife And like her being upset because, like you said, he was laughing at the joke. He was fine with it at first. Maybe it wasn't so much about how he feels, but how he's afraid how she feels. And instead of like having a solid conversation with her, instead of addressing it like behind closed doors, instead of going up there and pulling a real boss move, instead of snapping back with a joke of his own, like like instead of doing any of that, he was so afraid of how she felt, so he decided to act on that based off what her insecurities might have been. So maybe it's something like that, but for me, I think it boils down to insecurities. Because it wasn't like he slapped him and it's like went back to see like, all right, like be that cool scary move when you're just like, all right, chill out, Pookie. And smoking on like crack pipe a little too much. Da da da. Like, oh shit. Like, oh, he could have just stayed at the seat and said that. But or he could have gone up and he just like taken that moment to talk about alopecia if that's what he really wanted to worry about. Or he could have taken that moment to go up on stage. He was like, chill out, Chris. And then he's like, oh, this guy's funny. He's like, but I want to take this moment to kind of address some things. Like, I know a lot of people, in this industry, you have to get used to getting beaten down a lot and people making fun of you, da da da. But, and he's like, I want to take this moment to defend my wife right here. She didn't appreciate that. She's a strong woman, and she doesn't need to be associated with G.I. Jane to identify herself as a strong woman. So just recognize that's who my wife is.
That would be worse.
You think so? I don't think so.
I would hate that.
Yeah, it would have been like, oh, he's pandering.
That would be so gross.
Corny. But it would have been like, I don't think that would have been worse. Because I could be like, this corny motherfucker. But I could be proud of who he is and what he did in order to, for the sake of himself and his wife and his family.